seeing how hard it is to move that needle and get progress at the grassroots level if you're not a giant corporation that can spend $1 billion a year on lobbying. I'm not optimistic that we can change things drastically at the federal level. The FDA should be broken up. They should not be the watchdog of the industry when they're in the patent business, when they're in the vaccine and drug business. How can they be an effective watchdog? Isn't that like the fox in the hen house?
Yeah, total conflict of interest.
So there's conflict of interest. They move back and forth. They have a great career at Pfizer or Merck, and then they have a great career at the FDA or the CDC, and then they go back.
Yeah.
That incestuousness cannot be beneficial, in my humble opinion, for public health.
Yeah.
We should not be combining the vaccines like we do, an M and M and an R, just because it makes for fewer trips. How about we postpone some of these vaccines until they're age 3 and their immune system is fully mature and can tolerate some of these outside invaders a little bit more easily. Anyway, so my idea is I can't fight the machine. I don't think the machine is defeatable through the traditional methods of lobbying and convincing 220 million Americans that this isn't right and we need to fix it. It was easier in the 70s. We only had less than 50 people die of the Ford Pinto. It was off the market. We had less than 50 people die of the swine flu. It was off the market.
Yeah.
But today, because of the Vaccine Act, drug companies don't have the liability. Car makers do. So they have recalls.
It's a pretty good deal they set up for themselves.
Yeah, they set up, so they have no liability because they told President Reagan and 88 senators who signed the bill. Reagan signed it reluctantly, but he challenged the pharma industry. Why don't you just make a better vaccine that's not going to make people die like the swine flu vaccine did? And they said, well, actuarially, we can't support it because we'd go broke. Even if it's only half of 1%, that lost life that's worth $3 million a shot, boom. Yeah. We just can't make money. So we wouldn't offer the vaccine.
Yeah.
So instead of using technology to make safer vaccines or using common sense to wait until our immune system was mature to give some vaccines where, we haven't put seatbelts on the vaccines. Anyway, so I digress. We're not going to beat the machine because the lobbying money is just too powerful. They own both sides of Congress. They own both sides of most state houses, except for a couple dozen maybe in this great United States of America. So my idea is we just need to build our own infrastructure that can do an end run around it.
Yeah.
Most exceptional innovation happens around the existing industry, the existing bureaucracies, or what have you.
Look at
SpaceX.
Yeah.
Look at SpaceX. So we need to do what SpaceX did and say, okay, there's no more government funding for these explorations. We're going to find a private way to do it. So my idea is to do all the things we've been doing for Andrew and what other exceptional autism moms and autism dads have been doing for people with disabilities, and building their own infrastructures to serve them. So what does that look like? It looks like an assisted living center where everybody has access to their own vitamin D every day, whenever they want, with their own patio door. So your room has an exterior patio door where you can get outside and get the fresh air and get the sunlight that you need. So just 15 minutes of sunlight a day. Without sunglasses on, you can manufacture all the vitamin D you need. You don't even have to take a supplement.
Yeah.
If you did that, and it would have organic farming on site. Get a 3-acre site that has 40 fruit trees on it. So some of your food is locally, not just locally sourced, but self-sourced, and that would give these autistic adults and other developmentally challenged people, like with Down syndrome and other cerebral palsy, that would give them something to do that's more fulfilling than watching videos all day.
Yeah.
Or make them healthier too.
Make them healthier too. Give them a purpose.
Yeah.
Give them a purpose. They can grow their own lettuce. They can grow their own garlic. They can grow their own onions. They can grow their own herbs and spices. and they can have chickens and
it's a
horse
sense
therapy.
of purpose.
A more fulfilling life.
A more fulfilling life. That would be a more fulfilling life for arguably all of us. If we, World War II, we had victory gardens, and we grew 45% of our own food as a nation.
Yeah,
that's a motivated nation. What if we did the same thing? What if we had victory gardens for developmentally disabled people at an assisted living care facility? And what if we had a yoga studio? What if we had an art studio? Horse therapy? What if we had the chiropractor come out once a week? What if we had the acupuncturist come out? What if we had the functional medicine doctor come and coach him on how to cook, how to prepare those avocados a little bit differently instead of the same way every day, like I do for Andrew?
Right.
Poor kid. Probably gets boring. And what if we had the proper therapies? Some of these people, they need 60 hours of intensive one-on-one therapy per week.
Yeah.
To learn some basic skills like clothing themselves, self-feeding, and doing, just have more independent living skills. That's what they need.
Yeah. Well,
and they're not getting that when a state government contract, when they get handed off to the state, because families are financially exhausted, emotionally exhausted, physically exhausted. 80% of autistic parents end up in divorce, like me. And I'm no angel, so I'm part of that statistic, that's for sure. But what if they had that social engagement that they need? What if they had that, just that one, the therapies that they needed? And instead of being thrown to the state into a contractor-run group home where they're paired up with someone they don't know, they're usually sharing rooms with one or two other roommates, and they're eating crap GMO food. That's only making their bodies and their souls more painful.
Well, your idea also brings the families together, too. My brother was struggling from traumatic brain injury for 19 years, and I don't know that I could tell you that we found another maybe there was, but what the point I'm getting to is we didn't hang out with a bunch of other families that had the same struggle, and this kind of brings families together as well. So you have support in other families and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Right. And it can also be kind of a nerve center for outpatients. So for those that are still taking care of their family member, like I am, it could be a nerve center for resources and therapies and whatnot for people like that. So,
I think it's fantastic.
Yeah. So that's what we want to build.